Hi, good morning, guys. Thank you for the interest in my work. I've been making pipes now for 27 years. It's been great fun serving you. I am the first South African to be, born South African to be making pipes, and I'm also a master pipe maker. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I would like to show you what my pipes do and how to clean them. Let's start by first removing the mouthpiece. Then you get to the part where there's an insert and a filter. I prefer the 6mm balsa wood filter simply because it lasts longer. It's one of the cheapest filter options you can use, and it's fairly effective in what it needs to do. One of your greatest enemy in a pipe is obviously heat and moisture. And what I've done is to create cavities to get rid of all that moisture and also to cool down the heat. So remove your filter. Then you're going to need sharp nose pliers. Grip your insert firmly. It's got a tapered fit, so you need to pull it out. And I grip it like that so you won't damage it. The material on it is quite strong and hardy. Then take a piece of toilet paper and just dry it off nicely, because it will get wet on the insert, both in and outside. You can use the pipe filter to do, pipe cleaner to do the inside. Just catch it and run it through a couple of times, make sure it's nicely clean. Then coil up your toilet paper. And you've got a nice big cavity here in the neck of the pipe to go down to the bottom of the sump. And you just dry all the way down and clean it as good as possible. Make sure it reaches right down to the bottom. You can see how clean it is now. And if I do the other side, I can do a couple of runs. It's very simple to clean, and this is basically the same for all the pipes. It's not just on this one as a hybrid system. Then take your pipe cleaner, give it a bit of a curve, and I'm using the back end just to show how easy it is. What happens is this bush has got a thread for about a centimeter into the wood, and then it's glued solid, so you can't remove that. You shouldn't be able to. And then just run your pipe cleaner in there, clean it. It's right at the bottom now. It's where the bottomless hole is. And now with the bottomless hole, they go down straight. So you just take it and do that. Blow hard. Make sure it's nice and clean again. Take your little insert. Normally the longer side will go in first. This is slightly different than what you get. And then just push on it and it locks into place. You can actually push harder. And now if there's moisture collected around it, you can just shake it dry. Remove your mouthpiece, shake it dry, and you've got a long while before you need to clean them. Insert your filter. I normally put them so that you can easily grip them at the back. Insert your mouthpiece. It's a tapered fit, military press, so you don't need to force it in. 2 fingers and it fits perfectly. Alright, now we get to packing. Your tobacco, the humidity of the tobacco is very important. Right now we've got some cloudy weather, which obviously will affect the humidity of the tobacco. If you squeeze on tobacco, it should open up again. It must have a springy feel, as they say. And it could be slightly drier. I believe slightly drier is a good thing, but it's not always possible. Packing your pipe, I prefer a nice open bowl where I can hold the bowl on top and just pack it in nicely. Push down all the way to the bottom. Now the trick, of course, is that if you pack it too tight, you can't breathe through it. If you pack it too light, it won't stay lit. All the way down, and you can do a second and a third, maybe even a 4th time. Just make sure it's almost all the way to the top. Now with the bottomless hole, you can also just pack it halfway. The design of the bowl and that smoke hole is so that you can do a 5-minute smoke, a 10-minute smoke, half an hour smoke, or an hour smoke. It's up to you. As you push it down, make sure you have an even layer on top. Go all the way around the bowl. Just make sure it's there, check. It breathes okay. Now for the lighting, I prefer matches. I like lighters. I prefer the flame throwing lighters, you know, the ones with the blue flame. Just start from a distance and bring it closer so that you don't burn the side of your bowl. And also it may blow out little embers onto your clothes, and my wife don't like that, so I prefer the matches. Safety matches, better than line, I think, but that's up to you. It's just my personal choice. What I'm going to do now is a charring burn, and what you do is you puff as hard as possible or drag as hard as possible without inhaling. A pipe shouldn't be inhaled actually, so that's a South African thing. They like to inhale everything, but puffing is good enough. Inside your mouth is enough nicotine can be absorbed through your mouth, so it's not necessary to inhale it. Right, let's get to the lighting part. Right. Now you'll see there's a bit of grayness there, like old fart. And if you look at the inside of the bowl, you must be sure or make sure that there's no grey or no brown inside the grey. It should all be grey. And if there's still brown spots, that's still something that needs to be charred before it'll burn evenly. So all you do now is repeat the process. I see some brown there. Let's make sure I catch them. Just dab lightly and continue smoking.